Yay! Luke, I don't think that you can see me when we're backstage, but I can see you. And when it said, look around your space, you're like, looked around. I was like, me too. I'm looking around. Me too. I'm doing what the instructions say.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Improv On and Off the Topic, where we invite you to look around your space, take a deep breath, do the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Luke.
Yes.
I have this. Okay, I did it. Ta-da!
Hey, all right.
How do we practice reframing wasted opportunities? How does improv help us do it? So I was thinking, about this being our last opportunities talk. Mm-hmm. And it was funny because as soon as I thought like, it's our last one, we should I was like, it's our last one. Oh man, we didn't talk about this month. We didn't do la 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 la. We should have yada yada. And I was like, man, I think that's what we should talk about. Like this idea that you missed an opportunity or you wasted an opportunity. I say nay. I say nay to that framing. What do you say?
I also say nay. So I say yay to the nay. Nay.
Yay to the nay. H to the Izzo. I say yay to the nay.
Oh, no. But I also say nay. But I also, when you were talking about it, and just thinking about it now, like it's just. Part of me is like, okay, how do you navigate that? Oh God, and it's tough. Hi, Charlotte. Yay, hello.
Yeah, it is tough. Like when we are talking improv, we are trained really to like let it go immediately, right?
Right.
All right. So because there are all these opportunities in front of us. There are all these choices, all these things that we can do, and we have to choose one. And I don't want to say for better or for worse, more like for ourselves or our partners, whoever is relying on us, that opportunity is gone. It's gone. Right. Yeah. But Luke, there is also we have this term in comedy in general, but in improv, and we called the callback, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Where something is referenced and then maybe it gets a laugh, and then 10 minutes or some time passes, and then we call back to that thing. We reference that thing again.
Right.
And I was thinking about this as it pertains to wasted or missed opportunities, because you were talking about this sort of one of the last shows we were on. It's possible to miss an opportunity and then at any given time revisit it, whether that's mentally or in your soul, or actually like physically revisit the opportunity and see if you can explore it.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, there is, basically, like with it just made me think about, like, I mean, I've talked about this before, but like in Marie Kondo's book of Tidying Up, she was talking about, like all these different things, like the sentimental, sorting through sentimental things, and so you're revisiting, a lot of different memories and things like that, and but at the same time, like keeping every report card may not be like, like may just be like, that's a lot of report cards, and it's just
A lot
like,
of repairs.
yeah, yeah, and so like, what she was saying that is that, like, you need to like keep stuff that brings you, that sparks joy for you, at that moment, at that time, and that still does. But if it doesn't spark joy for you, and you still feel sentimental about it, one of the ways you can reframe it is thinking about, like, what, that knowledge will come up, in a different style in the future. It's incorporated. So, for example, like I kept a, a lot of stuff from school because I was like, I love school; it's so cool. I kept it all. But because I was like, what if I need it? What if I need to return to like that reference of from history class or math class, or things like that, that I've never looked since I filed it away. Baby, I organize everything. So, but yeah, like it was just like, it's so. But what I came to the conclusion of is like, what, if I need that information, I can. There's the internet now. But then also, like, I mean, that information I've already incorporated that into my brain, into my body.
Ooh.
Into different ways. So I may not, remember exactly how to find the diameter of a circle. you know, but at the same time, I can look it up. I can also, just kind of like remember about, like, okay, how did I approach this problem before, and did it work, or do I need to find a different way to find that to figure out what equals X?
What? What is a rhombus?
Yeah,
What
what is it?
what
Yeah.
is the yes?
Yeah.
Here's what I'm hearing in that,
Yeah.
which is fun to hear. Trust.
Yes. Yes.
Trust.
Yes.
I'm hearing like trusting in yourself. And when when I'm thinking about how that resonates on stage, I'm thinking about I am not the one, like, girl, I am not the one. I am not the one to remember the funny joke at the very beginning. I am not the one, right? Like, to remember like the tagline or the whatever.
Yeah.
But I trust, like you said, that either it is incorporated somewhere in my body, it's incorporated, and maybe I'll make a reference doing through a character or like unknowingly, but it's also, I trust, you said the internet, right? That information is in the internet or somewhere.
Yeah.
On stage, it's in your partners.
Right.
Yeah. Like on stage, you trust that someone is going to remember whatever it was, the funny joke, the reference, the something, and together you can still sort of build whatever story or whatnot. And even, Luke, I think about and utilize the audience a lot. Like, we forget that the audience is an amazing reference. The audience is an amazing tool to help remind you. You can shout out to the audience, what was my name? And they'll be like, it was Deborah. And you're like, Deborah, that's right. And someone will remember.
Yeah.
And when this idea that we're talking about this wasted opportunity or this missed opportunity, the trust that, I love this, what you said about it's already incorporated in your body. Whatever knowledge it is will come forward when you need it, that trust, and that it is in the community, the
Yeah.
zeitgeist, as people like to call it. But
Right.
but it is in the community. You don't have
Mhm.
to. You can trust in your community to bring
Yeah.
it back if you need it.
Right. And also, it can either, you can either call back to it, or you can take it another step forward. That would be like the next step. Simply because, what led you from getting, the report cards and learning that math got you to this point.
Mhm.
And so it's just like, even if uh, I don't remember that exact callback, but cool. What would be the next step for this main character? Um, you know,
Ooh.
as well. Um,
That's an interesting
yeah.
thought because when we're this idea of like it's I missed that opportunity. When you think about, okay, maybe maybe I did, maybe I missed it, but what did I learn from that situation? And
Hmm.
then what do I do now? Like, what
Yeah.
do I do now? How do I move forward? What's exactly what you said? What's the next
Yeah.
step? And that's interesting because I wonder if if you're watching this, tell us.
Mhm.
I want to know. I'm going to put you on the spot. I'm going to put myself on the spot too. But have you ever been in those situations where, okay, you miss an opportunity, and then somehow like days, weeks, months, even years go by, and it sort of presents itself again in a different, either in the same way or in a different way.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think. I know that there's
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah. I
so
mean,
I'm trying to think of them, but yeah.
yeah. One. As in drama therapy realm, we kind of talk about just sitting with that emotion for a bit and feeling
Mm,
and seeing how you feel about that missed opportunity, and then how can we build forward from there? What would
mhm,
be the next step? Do we need to have do we need to have a time to grieve and let go of that point? Um, or are we just kind of like, okay, cool, that's done, bye bye,
bye, thanks.
yeah. So it just depends on what the gravity of and how uh, how you felt about that opportunity, um,
Mhm,
and what it meant to you. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to think of, yeah, there's there's been a lot of times like I've struggled. I'm gonna be pretty clear. Like I've struggled with letting go of different things
mm,
sometimes, and um, because I've always wanted to be like, well, I'm not going to worry about the motion. I'm just going to take the next step forward. But then, these the similar opportunities come up again because, I didn't work with it in the first place. So it's like, I
ooh.
need to sort out that emotion. I need to, let the dust settle on that moment and breathe and then come back to it again. It doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes it happens with me. So I know
Dang.
it's like, wow,
You're you're
deep.
just opening up.
I
That's
am.
it's it's you're talking about, oh man, you're talking about so many things because on the one hand, we're talking a little bit about the opportunity itself, right? Maybe it's a job or something like that. You missed it, it comes
Mhm.
back around,
Yeah,
whatnot. But what
yeah.
you're talking about is the opportunity to either heal or release an emotion around the
Hmm.
opportunity to heal and release the emotion around a missed opportunity. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
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 that's
yeah, yeah,
so that's powerful. That's
yeah,
a huge thing because when your body, this is what you were saying before about trusting that it's in your body, like, okay, I
yeah,
missed this thing or I learned this thing, I really want to hold on to it, but I
yeah,
trust that it's in my body.
yeah.
Your body will also hold on to like your missed opportunity of healing.
Hmm.
And so yeah,
Yeah.
it'll come back up.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I know. It's like, oh, deep. So. Let's bring it back. So,
okay.
like a way forward and a way to work with it and work through it. It's just one, yeah, to acknowledge it. One that in and of itself, may take some time, but then also like seeing what value that opportunity was. Um, like for example, I lived abroad for a long while, and then I moved over here, and I was very frustrated because I was just like, oh man, why why can't I live abroad all the time?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and
Mm-hmm.
you know visa complications. Ugh. Um, but um, but like so but I found, like, okay, I looked at like what I missed and why I missed it. So for example, like I missed working at I was working as a TA for a school for kids with special needs, with disabilities, and I missed that. I missed being in theater, um, and, and so I was like, okay, how can I continue those things even though I'm not
Mm-hmm.
living where I am anymore. How can I continue that? And so I pursued and still am pursuing those career paths, forward. That's where I found, that's where I was like, you know what? I haven't tried narrative improv before. That's kind of cool. So that's where, I found with improv and trying different ways of theater. Um, and then also how I worked uh, in terms of like learning about drama therapy and what that means, and working with people with disabilities in all ages. And so because I learned that, like, oh, the value of that opportunity, that kind of gets me away from feeling like it's wasted and more about like it's still valuable to me, and how can I hold on to this as I move forward. um,
That's even when I'm thinking about you in the textbooks situation or the report card
yeah.
situation, like what it it's like maybe it's not that, oh, I'm going to need this textbook because I'm really going to need to know like the capital of that, and I need
Right.
the textbook to tell me.
Right.
But what about having that textbook brings me comfort? What is
Yeah.
valuable? You're talking about
Yeah.
using that word, Emily Arnold. If you're watching us, listen. Look, we're using the word values. She
Oh
loves
yeah.
that word. She loves the word
It's so
value.
good.
But yeah, what do I value about the textbook? Is it
Hmm.
is it having knowledge?
Yeah.
Maybe it's that I need to go to school, or
Hmm.
maybe it's that I want to go back to school. Maybe it's that I like having knowledge at my fingertips. Maybe I need to go to
Yes.
more trivia nights.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
things
Or
like that.
or like if I really like report cards, is because I got all A's or I got one B and I have to focus on that, or whatever. And yeah, what's the value of that? Like maybe I need to figure out how to appreciate myself more, and going
Mhm.
forward with that. So yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'm thinking, yeah, Charlotte is
Yeah.
loving you. That would.
Oh, thank you, Charlotte. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, it is. It is tough. It is tough to let go of things. Because yeah, there's and one of the way forwards that I've found is just like, okay, yeah, like just like we're talking about, like just finding the value of what it meant, and how can I continue that forward, and what as I move forward in life. So,
When you're talking about this, and I'm thinking of a specific game. I'm thinking of tag team story.
yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like it visually represents exactly what you're talking about. What do I value? What
Mhm.
happened? How do I sit in the moment? And how
Yeah.
do I move forward?
Yeah.
And if you're playing tag team story, quick, it's one person behind the other, right? Like you're
Mhm.
standing in a line for coffee, and the very first person is telling a story, and
Mhm.
you get the person behind them gets to tag that person out,
Yeah.
and they start telling the story from they pick up where the last person left off.
Right.
And when I'm thinking about, wow, a missed opportunity, how do I move forward from that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about the control, the loss of control
Yeah.
sometimes that we have.
Yeah.
And that game tends to enlighten us, like help to shine a light on how we deal with that, right? Because the
Mm-hmm.
first person is talking, and
Yeah.
you're standing behind them, and they're talking so quickly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there was a goat, and the goat was eating carrots, and the carrots grew to a giant monster carrot, and
Yeah.
whatever. And you're listening, and you're about to tag, and it's too late. Like you have an idea,
Yeah.
and it's too late. That
Uh,
opportunity is gone. You have to be like, you have to just tag it.
yeah.
And when you do finally go ahead and tag, and
Mm-hmm.
you've missed the part that you were like, oh, the carrot had a wife or whatever, but it's gone. Like the carrot
Yeah.
and the wife part is gone.
Yeah.
And you have to step in and continue to move that story forward.
Mm-hmm.
What was said before that
Right.
you're like talking about? What was said before? What happened before this opportunity?
Mm-hmm.
What are we trying to accomplish? The story itself, and
Yeah.
how do we just continue to move forward?
Yeah.
And when we have other people to help us with that,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes you don't have other people, well, we
Yeah.
can say that, but when you do, you
Mm-hmm.
can trust that someone's going to tag you out,
Yeah.
help move forward. You can trust in yourself that when you do tag that person in front, you will have something because you're
Mm-hmm.
listening and
Yeah. Yeah.
you're in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have other people, it sounds like you're saying that there's still the still, actually there is stillness. Like you can
Yeah.
sit and still play this activity,
Mm-hmm.
this exercise with thinking about, okay, what is the next step?
Yeah.
What can I do, even though I was either too late or too early or
Yeah.
not at the right time? I still need to practice tagging and
Yeah.
moving, right?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got to go back to what you said before about like you were saying, trusting other people, and then also you're in the room too, so trusting yourself. And so like and just like you were talking about, like finding like even though it's a game and it's like and it's a really really fun game and you have like all these ideas and it's just like oh man like I gotta like give up control, but I also want to control the narrative. But then um, it's a lot to juggle in the brain. Um,
Hmm.
at the same time, it's just like okay, what is and so like I found that like you're just like okay, what's really fun about this game? What am I having fun with? Like, is it the content of the story? Is it like, do I have a genius callback that I just can't wait? Or is it like I just really like playing with this character voice that's really fun? Like,
Right?
so it's
Yes.
like yeah,
I
um,
love you
mhm,
said you said it really well. You said you are also in the room,
yeah,
right? You are also in the room. And that made me think, okay, so we're practicing reframing wasted or missed opportunities.
yeah.
Oh no, did I lose it? Thinking about you're also in the room, you're also in
Mhm.
the room. I might have lost it, Luke. I might have lost
Um,
it.
can I
Uh,
assist?
yeah, assist, assist.
Um, um, so
Quick,
like,
something else.
I mean, coming back to value and like, what do you value about the scene? What do you find fun about the scene? Is that where you're going with it?
Yeah, you did. What do you find? You were talking about that. What do you find fun about the scene? Oh, it might be gone. It might be gone.
Ah.
On to our commercial break. Here's a commercial break. Charlotte. Yes.
Yeah.
I always joke I'm pretty
Mhm.
petty AF. Holding on to grudges. Yes. In
Yeah.
addition to stuff like report cards. Yeah,
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
holding on to things.
Yeah.
Holding
Well,
on to
yeah.
things.
I mean, yeah, and uh, it's just like there's sometimes where we wish we had said like the exact thing
Mhm.
to the other person or like I mean a lot of times after improv class I would come home and be like, oh, I should have said this, oh god,
Right.
this would have made the scene the best, or why didn't I have more fun?
Right.
Like,
Why didn't I let go
what?
more?
Yeah,
Why didn't I
yeah.
embarrass myself more?
Right, I know. Why didn't I, like stay in the moment? And so coming away from that, but once again, like those opportunities, those types of opportunities, they won't present in the same exact way again. But the more you like keep on going to class and trying things out and being like, oh, that's why I didn't jump in at this time. I'm learning about like what hinders me from jumping in, as well as like be like, yeah, that was pretty funny, I'm gonna write that down and put it in the script. So
There, so you reminded me of it, that piece that you're talking about of it won't present itself in the same way every time. I love that. And what I was thinking about was, it's not always you didn't always miss the opportunity. Sometimes the opportunity missed you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like I was
Like,
right here.
I was right here on time where I was supposed to be. I said all the right things. I put in the code,
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just not your time. The opportunity isn't really for you at that moment. And I think this have you ever stepped on stage, Luke? Have you ever stepped on stage and you're about to say something and it's like all the stars align and somebody edits? It's like you're like, there's a scene just happened. You're like, cool, that I'm totally into this scene. You get on stage and someone's like, whoop, white.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I feel like there's just nothing you can, other than like, no, I'm going to do my scene, like which sort of defeats the purpose.
Right.
But when we're talking about, sometimes it's not you, it's the opportunity itself. Like you were about to step on stage, you stepped on stage, you opened your mouth, you did all the things right, and somebody else was like, nope. It's not. It's something else,
Right. Yeah.
And there's something about, oh, I want to say giving up, not ownership or onus, but the guilt or the like, as if it's your fault that you missed this thing or it wasn't your time. You want, like, we don't want to dwell in that, because sometimes it's not you. Sometimes it's not you.
And the thing is, I gotta say, it is very hard to get out of that brain space sometimes. It just is, especially in an improv show where you're like you're trying to follow your feet, or you did, and then and it's hard to because the aim of improv is to be in the moment the whole time, but yet you're like, I mean, for me anyway, I was thinking about that scene, and that's just, like, it's just still right there, right there. It's like, God, I'm trying to, and so it's like, and so like a way to navigate it through is just like, okay, what what was really fun that you want to bring back, because it can always there can always be some callbacks to different things, as well as with the if it's narrative, like there may be another character that comes in, kind of says the same thing, or there may be a different avenue that you could take your character down that would be like that could fit to that location or situation as well.
It's weird because I don't feel like we've been talking that long, but apparently we've been talking for almost 30 minutes.
I
don't. This is one of those shows where I'm like, I could talk about this forever, and I feel like I've only been talking for like 5 minutes. But I don't even know. We'll cut to this commercial break. There it is. How do we practice the reframing? the wasted, we've talked a lot. Man, we're going to try and just squeeze a tiny bit more in. We've talked
Yeah.
a lot about the missed, like
Yeah.
the missed opportunity.
Mhm.
There is something about this wasted
Mhm.
opportunity, right? Like
Yeah.
this feeling that you had something and you didn't do with it what you wanted to do with it, or
Mhm.
you feel that way, or maybe someone else is putting that on you. And I'm feeling like what you've been saying as far as sitting in that moment, thinking about it, and thinking about what you did glean from the opportunity,
Yeah.
instead of like, I had it and I lost it.
Mhm.
More like, I had it. What did I gain from
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Is the mind frame we want to be in.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, and like, yeah, how can I? What qualities of that do I want to carry forward?
Mm-hmm.
Um, for myself, for the narrative, or for different characters for improv, but also like in off the stage, it's all about like okay, I found some value in the jobs that I had, or the report cards that I had. So that was great. Why? There's a little bit more time because you don't have to be in the present moment. But then there's also like, okay, how can I find that that would be something that would be good for me, and good for my quality of life as I continue onwards.
Dang. Luke, you be dropping some like munchy little popcorn bits. I love it. Thank you. Thanks for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Thank you. Thank you. This is a wonderful, wonderful show, wonderful
I
opportunity.
I know. We have a good time. We have a
We
good
do.
time.
We do.
All right, y'all, people. I hope you got something out of this one. I mean, I did. This was our
Me too.
last opportunities one.
Yes, yes.
Oh, if I was really amazing, I would tell you what next month is about. But I'm only half amazing, and I don't know.
You are
But
amazing. You are amazing.
amazing,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And if you want to know what next month has in store, then you're going to have to come on Monday, 4 o'clock Central. And if we don't see you next Monday, I
Mhm.
bet that we see you on and.
And off the stage.
That's right.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.